Welcome to Road to Show Day 1. I'm starting out with breakfast, 60 grams of mini wheats, and 5 whole eggs is what we're going to be starting with for today. The macros on this meal come out to about 700 calories, 48 grams of protein, and around 58 grams of carbs. So this is going to be a perfect pre-workout meal. I'm going to eat this and let this settle, and then we'll get on to the gym. Another thing, I usually don't take in this many calories in my first meal without as much protein, but I do work both my jobs today, so it kind of depends on what I'm doing that day, how my meals look. These are all my vitamins that I take every day. I do take each one of these for a certain reason. If you do want like a little extra video or why I take all these, then I can definitely make that for you guys if you're interested. So we actually just made it to the gym. Today's gonna be a pool day. Yesterday when I got the footage, the whole reason I'm kind of starting this video today is yesterday when I got the footage, I realized that the music in the gym is so loud that you couldn't even really hear me talk. You could just hear the music. So I think whenever I come to this location, I'm just gonna have to do the voiceovers for the workouts, which is okay for now. Still walk you through how I'm feeling, kind of what I thought for the workout. I will be moving soon, so I will be going to a different location. Same gym, just different location. And hopefully the music isn't as loud there. This location is definitely loud for sure. This music is always blasting, so we'll see what else today has in store for us. So for my back days, I always warm up with a rear delt fly and a pull up with a dead hang as well. If you watch Dimitri on TikTok or if you know who I'm talking about, there's a way he does rear delt flies on the cables. And ever since I've seen that video, that's been my favorite way to do these. You guys will see that sometime in the future. Today I did it on the machine just because I like to switch it up a little bit here and there. But the way he does it on the cables feels so good. And when I start my back days with this, it's a good warm up for me because I also try to focus on my mid back a little bit and get that warmed up. And I start either with a pull down or a row on my back days. And I'll flip flop back and forth, kind of like I do on my chest days. I'll flip flop back and forth with starting with an incline press or a flat press. This has always just been really good for me as a warm up alongside with the dead hangs and pull ups. And for the pull ups with the dead hangs, I've always really loved doing these. The dead hangs just really decompresses your spine. I also always roll out my back every single day. If you buy a roller, it is like A1, and you can get one from Five Below for like literally $5. And it has saved me from a lot of back pain, a lot of discomfort. It also is supposed to help with your posture a lot. So I always start my back days with a dead hang, and I start every workout with rolling out my back. And then, of course, pull ups. I remember when I used to be a fatty and I couldn't do a single pull up. So now I feel like I'm flying, and it just makes me feel good. And it's a really good warm up for your back. Then we moved on to a cable row, and I really like starting these lighter, and I'll work my way up to a heavy set. Usually 2 heavy sets or 3, depending on how I feel. These felt really good today. Like I said earlier, I felt really, really strong today. I think I did 180 pounds for 2 or 3 sets here for my working sets. And while it's not all about the weight, I'm a bodybuilder, not a powerlifter. It is about progressively overloading yourself because that is how you grow and build muscle. So your strength should be growing alongside that. It shouldn't be a main focus, but it definitely should be something that you are aware of. But these are one of my favorite movements for your lats. Focus on keeping your elbows to the side, pulling them behind your back and touching them together. That's kind of the thought that I have. I pull back a little bit. I don't swing. I try not to swing. I pull back a little bit just to think about that squeeze and feeling the squeeze all the way down to my lower back and my lats, all the way from the top at the squeeze down to the bottom. And then with the stretch, I'm stretching my shoulder blades all the way out. I'll get to a certain point and I'll stop moving forward and I'll set my spine and I'll let my shoulder blades rotate all the way out for the stretch. And it just feels really amazing. Then we ended up moving on to a lat pull down machine. I really enjoy this machine because the handles kind of pull up and in front of you. So the stretch feels really good. Ended up working up to about 3.5 plates here for I think 2 sets. I'm also very slow in control of my movements. It's not about throwing the weight around, it's about moving the weight, actually squeezing the weight, stretching with the weight. The only thing about this machine is it kind of hurts my quads where it kind of holds me in place. I don't know if it's because I'm lifting heavier, but yeah, that pressure point where it kind of holds your legs in place right there on your quads above your knees, it does kind of hurt on this machine. So, but that's just me personally. And I think I actually just tried to maneuver my legs as best as I could. Then we moved on to our first bicep movement, just some dumbbell curls. The way I like to do these is I'll do the first couple sets seated, and I'll really focus on the squeeze, the mind muscle connection, and I'll do the last either 1 or 2 sets standing. And so I really already have that connection between my mind and my biceps. I can already feel the pump and the blood already start to move into those locations. And so when I stand up and I kind of just grind out these last couple sets, I'll start to cheat a little bit towards the end of the sets just to get the reps in. But I feel like for me, this works really well. Like I said, especially when I spend those first 2 sets really taking time, squeezing, connecting my mind to that muscle. And those last 2 sets, I just destroy it. Then we moved on to this row machine. I like to do this row machine unilaterally. So I'll grab a handle and I'll do one side at a time and I'll use my arm for support. Ever since I've done this, I just randomly did this one day and I love the way it feels. And you can actually manipulate your arm just kind of like any row movement. The closer to your side, the more lat you're going to hit, the higher up, and the more out you hold your elbow, you're going to hit more mid back trap. And so I held my elbows a little bit higher for this movement, trying to hit the trap mid back and everything like that. There is another location of these gyms that I have gone to before that I really enjoy that has a row machine that is unilateral that feels exactly like this. And when I saw that, I just fell in love with it. And I was like, I knew that it was something that I had felt that I just knew I loved, and I knew I couldn't be the only one that would feel it. And with that machine, I'm sure you guys will see sometime in the future once we hit that location, does just this exactly. For our last bicep movement of the day and our last movement for the workouts, I finished with some preacher curls. And on this last set here, I did a drop set. This just felt really good for a finisher. I also like to do these unilaterally sometimes, but since I already did the unilateral movement with the dumbbell curls, I went ahead and just finished off with the regular curls here. Just got finished with the cardio afterwards on the incline treadmill. Today felt really strong. I think, of course, when you take the carbs in before your workout and you get the glycogen in the muscle, that's going to help a lot. But just in general, I've been feeling a little strong lately, stronger than normal. So that's good. Always progressively overloading the weight. That's how you're going to grow. But yeah, like I said, that was an overall successful workout. I checked the pump afterwards. I've decided I'm not going to show my physique publicly until the end of this little cut, until we go into our next little bulk. But the plan is we're going to this little cut. It's not too long of a cut, about 3 or 4 months. And we're going to go to a lean bulk. That's kind of the idea behind this. So get down pretty lean and then lean bulk up. And then my next cut will be going into prep for my show. Welcome to Road to Show Day 2. I actually didn't do anything exciting but go to work last night. Today we actually have legs. Started out with my probiotic and some creatine, and I'm making my pre-workout here as well. I don't like to go protein heavy or meal heavy before my legs. I am working on my gut health. My gut health is not the greatest. So I try to stay away from a lot of protein or a big meal before I hit my leg workouts. Just because I do work out early in the day, period. I usually do like to try to get at least one meal in before. So I'll get a protein bar in or something like that on a leg day, and it usually does me pretty good instead of a big meal with lots of protein and fiber and a whole lot of carbs or anything like that. Usually a protein bar is just the right amount of food to get me through a good leg workout. Just because I don't like really doing fasted workouts. I also throw a little bit of this electrolyte water flavoring in here just because the flavor of this is awful. So I'll throw some of that in there also. It's electrolyte, so can't go wrong there. So I'll take this. This is for my, I say probiotic fiber gut health. It says psyllium supplement, so whatever the fuck that means. And then the protein bar of choice for today. Yes, in all of its glory. Galactic Brownie Pure Protein. I always see videos of people ranking protein bars, right? Like as a trend on TikTok or something like that. And some people be shitting on pure protein, but these actually taste good as hell. Okay, I've been around I haven't been around a long time. I've been working out and I've been around the fitness industry for a while, since I was like 14 years old. And I will say that used to anything protein, bar, chip, snack, candy, donut was awful. A lot of protein powders didn't taste good. Any kind of protein drink from the store didn't taste good. And there really wasn't that many options back then. Now there's all these options. And I feel like a lot of these things taste really good. Like, some people may not appreciate these things for how good they taste because they don't know. I feel like where the fitness industry came from, at least in my experience. Like, I know I'm young, but I feel like in the last 5 years, we've really figured it out on how to make stuff taste good and enjoyable, convenient. But yeah, sorry to go on a little rant there, but I will protect pure protein with my life. The only problem with these protein bars is there's not a lot of fiber, so you can tend to feel a little hungry still afterwards. But we're on a cut right now, so we're feeling hungry either way. Also, you gotta drink this stuff pretty fast, otherwise it gets thick. I don't know what the fuck's up with that. So yeah, we're gonna smash this. We're gonna get to the gym. And for my leg days, I always like to start with abductors and single leg hamstring curls. Of course, after 10 minutes on the Stairmaster, just to get everything going and rolling my back out. If you follow me on TikTok, you know I was dealing with a hamstring injury. Um, we're actually pretty good right now. It's been feeling pretty good. It's been getting a lot stronger. I think we're getting to the point to where it's getting stronger than it was before the injury. And the injury wasn't too serious, just a little tweak, but something we had to take serious with wanting to compete and not get hurt and hold us back or push us back or anything. But I've really been trying to focus on these. And shout out to the guy that worked in with me here. He showed me a way to get in here better and to be able to extend the stretch. So shout out to that guy. But I always start with these. And like I said, the hamstring curls, get the knees warmed up very, very well. And after about 4 sets of those, we moved on to the single leg hamstring curls. The hamstring injury that I was dealing with was hamstring tendonitis right behind the knee. And after doing some research and kind of doing what I usually do and testing things out, this is what I have implemented into my leg days to getting my knees warmed up. I used to think that extensions or squatting would get your knees warmed up, but it's actually the opposite that can hurt your knees. So if you are struggling with knee pain or anything like that, knee discomfort, make sure you start out with warming up your hamstrings before you do anything else and see if that makes a difference for you, because it definitely made a difference for me. And I also got some knee wraps or sleeves, so I wear those now, and that has actually helped me out a lot. I tried to do everything I could to not have to wear straps or wraps or anything like that, but at the end of the day, we want to protect our bodies and do the best we can to preserve our health, and so I think that was a good decision for me. And for the first compound movement, we actually hopped on this leg press here, worked up to 4.5 plates, and I think I did 2 or 3 sets here. This felt really good today. With the knee sleeves, it does make you a little stronger and makes you be able to push a little bit more weight, so I did keep that in mind when tracking my progress and my overloading. But for the first compound movement of the day, I think this was a good choice. I don't always start out with a press. I usually start out with a squat, so I kind of wanted to switch it up today. When I do these, I try to focus on keeping my back flat, planted against the seat. I don't want my back to curl up. And I think about opening up my legs, if that makes sense. Not bringing my legs to my chest, but almost to my shoulders, and getting that stretch as far as I can. And that really is going to give you that growth that you're looking for in your legs. I've been working on the width, and this has seemed to help me. I used to press with my legs kind of closer together and straight back to my chest, but widening up those feet is going to hit your abductors and widen that thigh. Then we moved on to these goblet squats with the plate under my feet, focusing on the quads and the mind muscle connection and keeping my spine in a good position while getting the most depth that I can. I worked up to a 100-pound dumbbell here for a couple of sets. These feel really good. Ever since I've implemented these into my leg workouts for my quads, I just really like the pump and the way it feels when you stand off of the plate and you can barely walk. 100 pounds is probably the most I've worked up to here, so I can see my strength is definitely still going up, even though we are on a cut. But I will see that drop down a little bit as I drop my calories more and more each week. Then we moved on to the good old reliable leg extensions. The newest location that this gym has built has a leg extension machine that is brand new that I fell in love with. It's plate loaded, and that is my favorite one I've ever done by far. But this one will do for now. Good old reliable. These felt really good today. I've been working up really heavy on these, so I'm thinking about getting a gym pin soon for movements like this where I'm really trying to really overload myself and grow. But this is something that is going to be a staple in every leg day. I did do a set or two just focusing on the teardrop and the leg right above the knee. Then to finish off the workout, we're going to hit this crunch machine. It's almost like a cable crunch just on the machine. Feels really good. And then I also did a couple sets of leg raises, focusing on the obliques, bringing my knees to my chest. But I always do these on my leg days. You got to build the abs before you can see them ever in the kitchen, they say, is where you build them. But I say you have to build them and then reveal them. That's what I've always liked to say. So trying to focus on the development of my core. You can see my abs at a really high body fat percentage. And I think that's due to me always training my core, even when I was a fat fuck. And so I'm blessed to have always done that. And so I still do that to this day. No matter what, always train your core. Just made it back home from the gym and got out of the shower. Now we're air frying up some just fair chicken. It's the best chicken in the game. If you know, you know. 2 ounces of that. I'm sorry, 2 servings of that at 6 ounces. I do have to work later. Didn't do any extra cardio after my leg day just because I do have to work. If I'm off on leg days, I'll do some cardio. Stairmaster usually. But I did start on the Stairmaster 10 minutes. Always do that on my leg days. I might get a little walk in here or something like that in a little bit, but I always take off cardio just on my leg days. Tomorrow we do have a rest day, but like I said, always got to get that cardio in, so we're going to hit a lot of cardio tomorrow. I did want to mention that I'm about a year out from my show, at least. So this is just the journey and the road to my first competition. I'm not in prep or anything like that right now, but I did want to mention that. So at least a year out. But yeah, I'll probably end up catching you guys tomorrow, to be honest. Welcome to Road to Show Day 3. Today we just got some cardio. It's a rest day today. Get that work in. Just drinking my thermogenic right now, but I do have some plans with the family. I'm gonna go bowling and shit, so I might show you guys what I got going on there, what I might indulge in for food or something like that. So kind of show you guys can still have fun, live a good lifestyle, enjoy yourself. So, but first thing first, go get this fasted cardio in. After getting my cardio in, going home, taking a shower, I met up with the family. We went bowling, then went and had some Mexican food. Then my brother took me fishing for the very first time. I've never been fishing before. Had a couple beers. It was a good time. It was much needed. Watched some UFC fights. And this was actually my dad's tackle box, so it was really cool to use. Welcome to Roach Show Day 4. Had a good day yesterday. Spent some time with the family. Ended up not working and went fishing for the first time with my brother. Had some good food. Went and had some Mexican food. So really had a good time. And you can still enjoy yourself while taking care of your health and living a good lifestyle. So today we got push. It was a good rest day, much needed. Game will be pretty strong today. So let's get into this workout. Shout out to my girlfriend's little brother for giving me these new Bear Bell flavors. Bear Bell is top 2 and not 2, so shout out to Bear Bell and Pure Protein. We started the workout with this incline cable fly. Of course, I warmed up on the treadmill, rolled my back out, and then warmed up my shoulders on the cables for about 3 or 4 sets. I really try to focus on my shoulders and the functionality of them, not having any shoulder pain. I have had shoulder injuries in the past, not from lifting, from playing football, so it has been a long time, but it is still prevalent just due to the injury that it was, dislocation of the shoulder. But this felt really good today. I usually don't start with flies, and I don't do a whole lot of cable flies. I'll do them here and there, but these felt really good today. Been watching a couple Olympias training, and they started with some flies, and so I kind of just wanted to see what the pump felt like when I did this. And let me tell you, the pump was amazing today. I'm definitely going to be starting flies more often and then going to a press, because you'll see when I go onto my incline press, I only push it for 2 plates, and I'm usually pushing more than that. So this was definitely a good starter for the workout. And for this plate loaded incline press, just thinking about keeping the shoulders tucked in towards my side and only using my chest to move the weight, not letting any of my front delts or my triceps get into play, and really just pressing and squeezing all the way through the movement. You'll notice in my training, I'm real slow, real controlled. Mind muscle connection is the biggest thing for me, and that's going to stimulate the most growth, in my opinion. So I used to throw the weight around. I used to try to put as much weight up as possible. But I'll say it a million times over, we are bodybuilders, not power lifters. And so the main thing is contracting the muscle, connecting to the muscle, tearing up those fibers for the most growth possible. And you'll see me doing these lengthened partials here, just pumping out this last set, getting the most acid into the muscles as I can. Then moved on to this lateral raise machine. If I ever do dumbbell lateral raises, I always do these first. I'll always do a couple of sets of these just to keep from the shoulder pain that I was mentioning earlier, keep the range of motion, get that mind muscle connection, and then I'll do dumbbells. But I ended up doing about 4 sets here. Didn't do any dumbbell today just because I did them last week, or not last week, but last push day. So grinded these out. These felt really good today. And like I said, my shoulder pain is getting a little better every day. And so I think this is something that's just been really helping me. Then we moved on to these tricep push downs. I really like this V-shaped handlebar, and we went really heavy on these. These felt really good. Just focus on pushing that weight straight down, keeping my shoulders and my elbows in the same position. I've noticed because my shoulders are kind of bad and I do have that shoulder pain and injuries in the past, if I don't set my shoulders and set my elbows and really think about it, I somehow tend to use my shoulder somehow because I've had shoulder pain in the past from doing push downs. But I feel like my form is really good on these nowadays. And of course, these partials at the end. Then for our next chest movement, we moved on to this flat press machine. I know it doesn't look like a flat press, but the bench itself is kind of at an angle. So the way this moves down feels really good because it's not straight, if that makes sense. You can kind of tell it goes up, but like I said, the bench is kind of at an angle. So this felt really good today when we were really heavy on these. Really been noticing good progression and the overloads on the weight. And the pump after this felt absolutely crazy. This made me feel like my chest was going to tear off the side. Not actually, but I love when I feel like that. The pump is just good. And for the standing military press, I do have to be careful, and especially when I'm kind of fatigued already. So I really, right here, I was just focusing on the movement itself, the mind muscle connection, pressing the weight all the way up through my shoulders, only using my shoulders. And so I think I did 3 sets here just on the lightweight, really focusing on the higher rep ranges just to get the mind muscle connection and burn out those shoulders. And like I said, if you can tell, I'm kind of pushing all the way through, thinking about pushing all the way through my shoulders. And for the last movement of the day, I went with this unilateral chest fly. This was amazing to end the workout. You kind of put your body at an angle, but keep your chest slanted. It feels really good. You can just get the one side, squeeze all the way across. This will really make you feel like your chest is going to tear off your shoulder. But this really was good to end off the workout. Like I said, the pump today was amazing. I felt really full. Of course, due to all the food and everything that I've had and the carbs. I was really bloated today, so that does come into play too. You have to keep that in mind that when you have a good time and you eat food and do things like that, it's okay, but you do have to bounce back because it is going to affect you just a little bit. Whether that be make you hold a little bit more water, make you feel bloated, make you feel like shit for a few days. You just do have to keep that in mind. So we want to do everything we can to work against those things and to recover our body and to get back on track to where we are at. For our last tricep movement and the last movement of the day, went with this push down. This feels amazing. This is a cool ass machine. Remember when they put this in here and I was like, this is badass because you can switch it between triceps and biceps and both ways feels amazing. But I think I did a superset here when I turned my hands and did underhand pull downs or push downs, I'm sorry. I guess it kind of would be a pull down at that point. Anyways, these felt really good. It's really good to finish off the workout, finish off the triceps. You can see here I was pretty much sweating my ass off and dead by this point. And I did mention earlier that I'm not going to be showing my physique until after the cut. So this is what the physique was looking like day 1 of the cut. This is the video we're going to come back and reference at the end. This is something that I thought of during my bulk and I kind of just put my mind to it. Something that I wanted to do. So this is what we were looking like day 1 of the cut. I'm excited to pose down and to do some talking after the workouts. I'm excited to record that. We had a really good workout today. The pump was absolutely immaculate. I was probably the fullest I've been so far on this cut, probably due to the food and everything that I ate yesterday and this morning. I always do lunch with my grandfather on Sundays, so Whenever I go into prep, some things will have to change, but for now, it's fine. I'm making my higher carb days. But we had a good night last night with the family. Like I said, we had a few beers, had some Mexican food yesterday. So today I definitely am a little bloated. Didn't go too crazy at all, nothing like that. Didn't throw myself off track or anything. Just had a good time. And the thing is with that, you just got to reset, right? Like today I locked back in. Yesterday we had a rest. I had a good workout today. I fueled myself. And tomorrow we're going to go back 100%. It is Monday, beginning of the week, back at work. I'm going to show you guys that you guys can still have fun, balance your life, and do something even as far as going into a bodybuilding competition. Now, like I said, when I do go into prep, all of these things do have to change. This is just a day-to-day lifestyle, right? So just make sure you're keeping happy. That's the number one focus. This is something that I am in love with doing. It's something that I strive to be better at every single day. It's almost hard to explain. If I could make it my career right now, I would so easily. Just because I would dedicate all my time to this if I could. Working two jobs, taking care of a young daughter, and still doing this. I just try to pour as much passion and heart into everything that I can. So if you've made it this far into the video, I do want to say I appreciate it because, while I said I am in love with doing this and I really do enjoy doing this, it doesn't make it any less time consuming. And so, if you made it this far, I do really appreciate it. And I hope that you continue to enjoy the things that I do. And hopefully, this journey not only inspires myself, but others. And hopefully, I can meet some people along the way. The biggest thing for me is just accountability. And it's something that I just want to strive for to be better at every single day. If you've made it this far, comment below road to show. That'll show me you made it this far. That'll show me some real love. And I really just do appreciate it because, like I said, it doesn't make it any less time consuming, no matter how much I love it, no matter how much I love to do it, want to do it. It still takes time and effort and energy. And I want these videos to be fun and I want them to have some kind of life to it, not just gym, just lifestyle. So I really do appreciate everything so far. But like I said, tomorrow we're right back to it. Tomorrow we do have a pool day, and it's going to be a good one. I already know. We're going to get recovered tonight and get back started to another week. Day 5, road to show. Look at the fit. Look at the fit. These shirts are super tough. I found this at a gym in Texas. I actually do want to make some of my own shirts here soon. What y'all think? But in all seriousness, welcome to Road to Show Day 5. Today we got pool. It's going to be a good ass workout. I got a lot of rest last night. I feel really good. Went to work this morning, so I've already got about almost 10,000 steps in. So that's a good start. We just had a couple of rice cakes with some powdered peanut butter and a protein shake. That was perfect for a little pre-workout meal. Just waiting on my little brother right now. He's going to come along with us today. Yeah, we'll see what the gym has for us. And of course, after warming up with our rear delt flies and our pull-ups like you saw me do earlier on my other pull day, we started with this chest supported row. Went pretty heavy on these today. Really thinking about the extension. Honestly, watching this video, I think I might overextend my upper back a little bit. I think I need to set my spine a little better and just let my shoulder blades rotate forward instead of letting my whole top half rotate forward, if that makes sense. So I'm going to work on that, but I was trying to get the warm-up recorded, but technical difficulties, so forgive me there. But we got the rest of the workout recorded. These felt really good today, and it was a perfect starter for our workout. It's going to build our thickness in our back. Then we moved on to this unilateral lat pull down. With the straps, this felt really good. I don't do this movement often. There's several ways I see people do lat pull downs on this machine, sideways, unilaterally. But I think this felt really good. I really like the stretch. With my main goal being my legs, I feel like another goal of mine is building the thickness of my back and the roundness of my lats and just the depth and the density of everything. I did go strapless for a while, but I'm back to using my straps again. I do need to get some better ones though because these do kind of hurt my wrist. Then moved on to the standing unilateral bicep Bayesian curls, or however you say them. You can also do these on an incline bench, but I feel like with the cables, the tension is there all the way through versus dumbbells. You'll hear me say a lot, I don't really do a whole lot of dumbbell movements because I feel like with dumbbells, you almost just throw the weight up and it kind of just floats to a certain extent. I'm not saying I don't ever use dumbbells, but I do prefer cable or machine. They moved on to this row machine you saw me use the other day, but I did use it a little bit differently. Today we did kind of plant our chest and focused on the mid, upper back, and the traps, bringing our shoulders up higher and really squeezing our mid back together like we're trying to hold a card or a water bottle in between our shoulder blades. This felt really good today. I was able to overload the weight today and make some progress there. And this felt really good as one of the finishers for our compound. Then we moved on to a cable curl. I asked my brother if he wanted to use the curved bar or the straight bar, so he went with the curved bar today. These felt really good. Not much to say about these. These are pretty standard, so I'm just going to kind of let this play out. And for our last movement, we did these behind the back cable shrugs. If you've never done shrugs from behind the back, you got to try it out. The stretch is really good. The range of motion doesn't look too crazy here, but if you felt it, then you would understand. So you got to try it out if you never have. But the idea is to bring the shoulders up into the ears, really squeeze the traps as much as possible, but when you come down, letting them stretch. And that's kind of why I like to do it on the cable and behind the back, because it's going the opposite direction. So it's stretching away from me, which I feel like puts really good tension on the traps. But after all this, my back felt absolutely blown up and exploded. It was an amazing workout. Just finished up with some outdoor cardio. Good little run for today. It's a nice, hot, beautiful day here in Oklahoma, so I'm definitely feeling this right now. Trying to catch my breath at the moment. I'm actually just about to take a shower, get ready for work, and head to that job. Ended up eating a chicken, pretty much a chicken salad bowl. It was really, really good. Ended up being about 480 calories, 48 grams of protein. That just bare chicken is fire from Sam's. Went to the store with my brother, picked up a few things with him, spent some time with him, and they ended up having to do something at 3 o'clock. So came home, got my cardio in. Since I do work both jobs today, I was already at 15,000 steps earlier, so that was before the cardio. So I'm definitely gonna be about 25,000 steps today. So that's a really good number for me. But this is actually the last day of this episode. These episodes are a little longer. These are days and days of footage. The next time I'll be catching you guys is on Friday. But I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed making this. It's gonna be a long journey. Like I said, we are at least a year out from the show. So hopefully these videos stack up and we can just get better and better. I know these videos will get more entertaining as we go. I'll get better at doing them, better at the editing. Also, some videos will be longer, some videos will be shorter depending on what I'm doing that week. Football season is coming up and I can't wait to get some footage of that stuff. Get the shower in, probably get a protein bar with some Fairlife milk in, and head to work. So I'll catch you guys on Friday.
Turn on my ice cubes and the diamonds. Took food to the so fresh and I'm like